Okay, guys, so um, this is the Unit 10 review for the IA, guys, and so we're going to start here with looking at limits from a graph. And so a couple things to note here, guys. If I see like a little negative sign or a positive sign, that means I'm only looking at the negative side of 5, only the positive side of 5. And so here, on all these problems, I don't have that stipulation. There's no little negatives or positives on the numbers here, so I'm looking at the entire limit here. Okay, and so here at 5, this is where this is happening. This is the negative side, this is the positive side. And so here, if I was looking, since there's a gap here at 5, there's a big gap here, there's no single y value, so my limit does not exist. Okay, had it asked for the limit only on the negative side, then I would have an answer. It'd be this one right here, which is at 5. Okay, and if it's asked for the positive side, then it would be negative 5. But because they here I don't have those little negative or positive signs, it does not exist. Okay, so here I'm looking at, well, at x equals 5 again, so it's right here. And I know this is a little hard to see, but if I look at the y value here, it goes to positive 1/2. Excuse me, negative 1/2. Okay, same thing here. I'm looking at negative 4, so right here, my x is negative 4, so my y value here is at, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one right here, this last one, I'm evaluating at 1, which is right here in the middle. But since I can't see, since it's just oscillating, moving up and down, up and down, up and down, I can't really tell what it is. So here we're going to say it does not exist. Okay, so moving forward here, first thing that you're going to do here, guys, is use direct substitution. That is the first step that you have to use for these. So if I were to plug this number in, and I know it's a little small here, but it's a 1. Okay, as x approaches 1, first thing I want to do, let's look at the denominator. If I put a 1 in there, it equals 3, which means it's not undefined. So I can use direct substitution. I can just plug in a 1 for this equation. There's negative in the front. So here this becomes negative. 1 squared is just 1 minus 1 plus 6. 1 plus 2 is 3. So here the 1's cancel. It's negative 6 over 3, which equals negative 2. Okay. Moving on over here, I know this is hard to see on the video, but I mean, you have the problem in front of you. So here it's asking as x approaches 2. So first thing I want to do, plug in my number here. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So square root of 1 is 1. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So here I can't use direct substitution. 0 on the denominator, I have to do something. So this is where excuse me, we have our technique where I am going to multiply by the same thing I have here with the square root, but I'm going to change it to a plus sign instead of a negative. So I'm going to do FOIL or rainbow method, and so square root of x minus 1 times square root of x minus 1, oops, is x minus 1. Right now I'm only dealing with the bottom part, guys, so x minus 1 times 1 is plus square root of x minus 1. Negative 1 times this is negative square root of x minus 1, and negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. So these cancel, and the negative ones will combine. So on the bottom, I'm left with x minus 2. So if I rewrite this limit here, limit as x approaches 2, again, here on the top, I have x minus 2 multiplied by all this stuff. Don't forget about this. Square root of x minus 1 plus 1. And on the bottom, I simplified it to x minus 2. I see that these cancel. So now what I'm going to do is plug in the 2 again. So 2 minus 1 plus 1. So 2 minus 1 is square root of 1. Square root of 1 is just 1, which equals 2. Okay. So next problem here. Okay, again, I want to first use direct substitution. See if I get a denominator of 0, which I will. So I can't just use this technique. I have to. Here I'm going to factor. So taking the top part of the equation. Remember, I want a, b, and c. So I'm going to make this side a times c, which is 1 times negative 8. Equals negative 8. And over here I want b, which is negative 2. So factors of negative 8, guys, is 2 and 4. Okay, and again, this one, the 4 is going to be negative. So my factors for the top is going to be x plus 2 times x minus 8, excuse me, minus 4, all divided by x minus 4. Here these will cancel, so I'm left with the limit as x approaches 4 of x plus 2. Plug in the 4, so 4 plus 2, which equals 6. And that is my answer. Okay, and the last one here, this is the easiest one, I feel, for when I'm plugging in a infinity. And so I'm going to look at my degrees, guys, here. The highest degree is 2, the highest degree is 2. So I just divide the coefficient in front, 3 divided by 1, which equals 3. Okay, so again, guys, I hope this is a little bit clearer, and I will answer any questions you guys have in class.